If you're over 70, here's a question most people never ask. Is this checkup actually helping me? Or could it quietly start a chain of problems I don't need? After 70, the biggest danger is not missing everything. It's getting pulled into more tests, more procedures, and more side effects for something that was never going to harm you in the first place. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 common routine checkups that deserve serious discussion after 70. Not because medicine is bad, but because the balance between benefit and risk changes with age. One of these is the biggest trap of all. It sounds like smart prevention, yet major radiology groups warn it can create harm without proven benefit. I'm not telling you to skip medical care. I'm giving you better questions to ask so you and your doctor can choose the safest option for you. Let's begin with bone density scans. These scans can be useful, and guidelines do recommend osteoporosis screening for many adults. The problem often isn't the scan itself, but what happens afterward. After 70, many people will show lower bone density. That result can trigger fear, automatic medication, and side effects, even when the real benefit for that individual is small. A more helpful question is to ask about actual fracture risk and how much a treatment would truly lower that risk. There's a big difference between a number changing on a scan and your life actually becoming safer. It also matters whether the issue is true osteoporosis or mild bone thinning, which often responds best to strength training, balance work, fall prevention, vision care, proper footwear, and adequate protein. Another area to question is brain imaging for mild forgetfulness. Occasional memory slips are common with age, but many people jump straight to requesting an MRI. Incidental findings on brain scans are very common in older adults, and once something is seen, even if it's age-related, it can lead to anxiety and more testing. For many people, a better first step is a careful medical history, a review of medications, sleep quality, hearing, mood, and a standard cognitive screening. Brain imaging can be very appropriate when there are clear warning signs like sudden rapid decline, seizures, or stroke-like symptoms. For mild, gradual changes, it is often not the first move. Cardiac stress testing is another example. Stress tests can save lives when used in the right situation. But if someone's risk of blocked arteries is already low, an abnormal result is more likely to be a false alarm. False positives can lead to further scans and invasive procedures that carry real risks, including bleeding or kidney stress from contrast dye, without improving outcomes. Before agreeing to a stress test, it's reasonable to ask about your baseline risk and what the next step would be if the test is positive. In many cases, careful symptom review, basic heart testing, and managing risk factors may be a safer first approach unless there are clear warning signs like chest pressure with activity, fainting, or sudden decline. Colonoscopy is another area where age matters. Colon cancer screening does save lives, but routine screening is strongest up to a certain age. And after that, it becomes more selective based on overall health and past results. The risks after 70 are not just the procedure itself, but the preparation, dehydration, sedation, and potential complications. For many older adults with prior normal screenings and no concerning symptoms, stool-based tests can be a safer option. It's also important to ask what happens if a small polyp is found, because repeated procedures can quickly become a long pipeline that may not change outcomes. The biggest trap of all is the idea of annual full-body CT scans as a preventive checkup. Whole-body scans in people without symptoms are not supported by strong evidence, and experts warn they can lead to unnecessary follow-up tests and treatments. CT scans also use ionizing radiation, which carries its own long-term risks. Perhaps most importantly, these scans often find tiny, harmless nodules or cysts. Once they are seen, the follow-up can involve repeat scans, biopsies, and significant stress, even when nothing dangerous is present. Targeted imaging can be very helpful when there are real symptoms, but scanning the entire body just in case is rarely a good trade. There is one simple rule that can protect you after 70. Before any checkup, ask this question: what happens next if it's positive? If the answer is more invasive testing that may not improve outcomes, it's time to pause and think. Smart prevention after 70 is not about more testing. It's about the right testing, combined with the basics that truly protect independence. Strength training, balance work, good sleep, enough protein, blood pressure control, hearing and vision care, and making the home safer against falls. That is real prevention. If this helped, subscribe and share to help others.